No, sir.
Okay.
Bev, looking at the audience here tonight is being asked to select 3 of the 5 of you for a 4-year term. And as you look at the other candidates that you're running against, if you were elected, what would you bring to the board that would be different than they might bring to the position?
Then the 2 that are trying to get on the board now. Any of them, I don't. Well, what I bring to this, this is Bev Grabe for those of you that are listening out in Radio Land or wherever. Having been on the board for 4 years, I think I bring a lot of education experience because I have been a teacher and a principal, and also I bring a love for this valley, which they all have. I mean, these things we all have, and have grandchildren in the district. But what I think is important is that we don't want to start over again. We need to remain the way we are, that's my opinion, because there is so much that needs to be done where we focus on the actual job of educating our kids and staying solvent and not having to go back and learn about how you are a board member, how you treat each other with respect, how you listen to ideas, and how you not take all this personally. And I think that I have that ability now because of the past experiences that I've had. And it's hard for me to say I'm the only one that has that ability. We have, the 3 of us have different backgrounds and some similar backgrounds, but we each bring something important to the board that needs to be heard, and we listen to each other very well, and we gain information from each other. And these 2 guys ask so many questions that I would never have thought of, and it's just incredible, their business backgrounds, and it really, really is helpful. So what I'm bringing back is experience, is the ability to listen.
You can finish your thought. You don't have to cut off right there.
I don't? Okay.
We just want to keep things moving.
I understand.
If you're in the middle of a thought, by all means, finish it.
This is Randy. One of the main things that I would bring, and it's not necessarily unique to me, but that's consistency. And at least 3 of us up here have a huge investment in our district and in our children. And I think now, especially when it continues to get tougher and tougher in terms of finances, it's important that that consistency and the relationships that we've built and the understanding that we've built continues to benefit our district. Beyond that, I would say that my ability to collaborate and build consensus is helpful to the district and will continue to be helpful to the district. Being a good board member is just as much, in my opinion, about knowing the role of a board member and being able to listen and respect other people even when you don't agree with them. And when you're not able to do that, and when you don't play well with others, that dysfunction can have a devastating effect on the whole organization. And in the school district, we are fortunate now that we have all, the board members have worked well together to get along, respect one another, and at the same time bring different thoughts to the table.
Thank you. This is Roberta Hardy, and what I would bring to the table, if elected, as I mentioned, fresh ideas, a different perspective other than just, and not that this part isn't needed, but I think that we need a team that is going to project what is going to be a win-win for everybody. So I would be the parents' point of view, the school. My focus would be on our children getting the best education possible in this valley with what we have to work with. And that would be being creative, coming up with new ideas, educated ideas, of course, and working together to accomplish this. I believe that we need to take a stand. I believe that we need to work together to do this, and I believe that I would be a positive addition to the school board.
This is Paul Zamoyda. I think there's 2 things that I think might be somewhat unique to me. One is for certain, I am a parent of a current Bear Valley Unified School District child. My son is in second grade. He has several years potentially left in the school district. So I have skin in the game, so to speak. So I never knew when I got on the board to what extent that would affect me. I thought that it would bring it to a new level, having a child in the system going through a crisis. And then I started experiencing the crisis, and I can tell you that it certainly makes me about as motivated as one can be being a parent with a child who is likely going to be in the system for another decade. The second thing that I'd like to think I bring to the table is I consider myself a very big thinker. I'm not afraid to try new ideas, progressive ideas. In fact, I spend so much time on the internet getting excited about education and the possibilities. I had to create a clearinghouse of my ideas. I went out and started my own blog. It only takes 2 minutes so that I wouldn't forget all the great articles. If you're interested, it's bigbearschools.wordpress.com. And if you go to that site, you'll see some great things. Yesterday, I ran across a video called the independentproject.com or .org, where kids from Massachusetts started their own school within a school, running their own school. And it's an amazing video, and there's no reason it couldn't happen in our district. There's a very, very famous TED speaker, Jeever Tully, who has started a school up in San Francisco called the Brightwork School. There's so many good things to talk about.
Thank you. And the question was, what would I do if elected? What changes? That sort of thing. What will I bring? Well, I will bring something different. If Roberta and I were not running, there would really be no election. We're the challengers, and here in the budget that the staff has put forward, it says uncertainty plus volatility equals change. That's looking at the state budget and the school budget. So there's going to be change, and perhaps challengers are part of the change. And I think competition makes us stronger. We're here challenging, we're competing, we're coming out and answering your questions, telling your ideas. I have these silly things like this. Last week I had at the Lake Candidate Forum, I had a life preserver with my name on it. It's a bit of marketing. I think outside of the box. I started working when I was 5 years old, shining shoes, pulling weeds, mowing lawns with a push mower, and I've never stopped working. When I was a teenager, I started reading law. I spent hours and days and weeks in law libraries reading the Constitution, just plain old laws in every code in California, and Supreme Court decisions, and I've never stopped doing that. I have different ideas, and I think different ideas are necessary in our changing environment.
Oh, next question. I'm sorry.
Next question?
I'm sorry.
All right, Randy, in your opinion, what do schools need to do to prepare our children for the 21st century?
We need to be more nimble in our approach to how we educate our children, and we in fact need to be proactive and educate them for their future and not for our past or their past. Beyond that, more specifically, there are a variety of technologies, techniques. In the last 4 years, we've been exposed to a lot of different ones. We've discussed a lot of different ones, things like online education. There's a lot of different ones. Part of the challenge with all that is it's one thing to have these great ideas. It's a whole nother thing to implement them. And my personal experience has been that's really where the challenge is how you get really a large government agency like a school district to effectively adopt change. And that's not something that happens overnight, even though we wish it could. And it's something that takes persistence and perseverance and really endurance. And that's one of the reasons why I'm sitting up here now. I'm interested in still seeing that through.
This is Roberta Hardy. What I think our schools need to do to prepare our students for the 21st century, of course, continue to educate them, but keep them interested. I talk to so many teenagers. I have a 15-year-old in our school district. I have a 9-year-old in our school district, my grandchildren who live with me. And they seem to lose interest. I believe that, and I know it's challenging, that we don't have our music programs anymore, hardly at all. Our sports are suffering. There are so many areas that are so challenging. Again, we need to get creative. We need to change things. We need to think on that level so that we keep them interested and teach them for whatever path they choose in life, whether it is a university, a junior college, whether they're going to go into a profession, but to teach them how to live, because I don't think we've ever done that. I really don't. They come out of school not knowing how to even balance a checkbook. Everything's on a computer, but there is so much more to life, and I believe that we need to get them involved and excited again in our school district.
In your opinion, what do our schools need to do to prepare our children for the 21st century?
It's interesting, this is a question. Our number one board goal, each year the board sets a goal, our number one board goal is to implement 21st century learning skills into the classroom. And by 21st century learning skills, most people jump to computers, and technology. And although that's part of it, if you really follow the 21st century learning skills movement, it's really about the 4 C's, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and communication. Virtually everyone who's in education agrees that moving forward, that these are the skills our kids are going to need to know to be successful in the future. I think employing those in our schools will be, to do that, you're going to have to necessitate teaching in a different way, a different pedagogy, maybe some project-based learning, maybe some problem-based learning, and maybe assessing students with different methodologies other than standardized and multiple choice tests, but perhaps asking them questions that don't have one specific answer, that have open-ended answers. Perhaps assessing them by projects that they do, perhaps by giving them a performance-based assessment in which they have to create something in order to be assessed. And again, technology does play a part, and technology's part is to help implement and make these skills come to life within the classroom. So I think that if we establish those things in our schools, that we will prepare our kids for the 21st century. Thank you.